Hi, Dr. Todd Sullivan from Nova Chiropractic and Acupuncture. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the Hypervolt Go by Hyperice. So the Hypervolt Go is the smaller version of the Hypervolt and the Hypervolt Plus. Now what's interesting about this device is it's much smaller and much lighter than the original Hypervolt and the Hypervolt Plus. So that was one thing that kind of drew me to this. I wanted to try it out and see how it compared to the more powerful, bigger versions of the Hypervolt. And what I like about it is definitely the ergonomics of it. It is much lighter than the original Hypervolt. The downside to it is it only comes with 2 attachments. So it comes with this round head that's more of the plastic, a little bit bigger than a quarter size. And then it also comes with more of a pointier end. And those 2 attachments are great for what they are, but I would actually prefer to use the foam ball for some patients. The majority of my patients, we prefer to use that one. It's a little bit more comfortable and you can apply it to a much more wider range of areas. So that's the only downside to the Hypervolt Go initially, I think, is I wish it would have had that attachment that came with it. Now with that being said, the advantage of the Hypervolt Go is it will accept the heads from the other devices. So you can take some of the treatment heads from the other devices and apply it to the Hypervolt Go. And so that's one of the advantages of it. So you may be able to buy some of the other treatment heads for the original Hypervolt, and so that can just plug into this one because it's the same fitting. The other thing I noticed, it can also accept a lot of the other treatment heads from other devices. So if you like a different treatment head on another device, that'll often fit right into this. So what I want to do is I want to use the Hypervolt Go and we'll demonstrate it on Renee's leg. We'll see what it feels like for her, and then I want to compare it to the original Hypervolt and see if she feels a big difference between the two, and then we'll talk about the price and my final opinion on it. So to turn on the Hypervolt Go, there is a button here right on the trigger size that you'll hold in, and there's 3 settings to this. So if you press once, you'll be at setting 1 and 2 and 3, and it just progresses up in as far as intensity and depth. So we're just going to turn on level 1. The other thing you'll notice is the Hypervolt Go is much quieter than the original, which again, for me, if I want to carry this in a gym bag and use it at the gym, or I want to use it in treatment rooms, it's nicer because it's not as loud. So we're going to apply it to her quadricep here. And again, we're going to use the attachment that came with the device. And we'll just go back and forth a few times along her quad. When using this in practice, I found the battery life to be very good with this device. I wouldn't say it's as good as the original Hypervolt, just because the battery size is maybe not as big, but it actually lasts quite a while. So that's a really positive with this one. So now what we're going to do, we've used the Hypervolt Go on our quad, and now we want to compare it to the original Hypervolt and the Hypervolt Plus and see how it ranks. Okay, so this is the Hypervolt Plus. We're going to apply it to her quad and we're going to compare the two and see what she thinks as far as the depth and penetration and vibration. So we're going to do level 1 like we did on the Hypervolt Go. So right now you can already hear it's a little bit louder, a little bit more heavier for sure, using it ergonomic wise. So we're going to use the same amount of pressure. So now let's go back to the Hypervolt Go and we'll compare that. So again, much quieter than the Hypervolt original and the Hypervolt Plus. And we'll shut that down. Okay, so Renee, what were your initial thoughts on the difference between the two?
I can tell the difference in the attachment. It feels like the Hypervolt Plus is a little bit broader where it's penetrating, and maybe just a little bit deeper, but not a huge difference in the depth.
Yeah, and I think that's the feedback I've received from a lot of my patients using it, is it's pretty powerful for what the size of it. And again, ergonomic wise, using this all day long and using this on lots of different areas. It's much more comfortable. And again, I was looking at it from a travel standpoint, carrying in a backpack, putting it in a gym bag. It's a lot lighter and a lot smaller. So I think that's a really positive thing with the Hypervolt Go. Also, the price point is much cheaper. So this is $200 versus the Hypervolt original, and the Hypervolt Plus is about $350. So you're saving quite a bit and not losing a whole lot in terms of performance and power. And then, like I said, I think you get a better form factor. One of the negatives of it, though, is you're only going to get the 2 attachments. So if you do prefer that foam ball, see if you can call Hypervolt, see if you can get it, just buy the individual attachment or any of the other attachments you want to, and that will just plug right into here. Or if you have another attachment from a different device, that will fit right into here. And then the only other negative con I would say about either of these 2 products is with Hypervolt, they require a proprietary charging cable. So as opposed to some of the newer products are coming out with a USB-C cable, which a lot of us have around the house, you're going to have to use the cable that came with the Hypervolt product in order to charge it. And that's only the other downside I saw to it. But I think this is a great product. And again, I think from a size standpoint, performance, and price standpoint, it's really good. So if you have any questions about the Hypervolt Go, give my office call at 703-912-7822.